What is one of the most important parts of retirement planning that is very often overlooked? That is the subject of this video. Welcome to another episode of the Financial Fast Lane. My name is Lane Martinson, and today we are talking about an aspect of retirement planning that's very often overlooked, but really can make a huge difference in your happiness and satisfaction when it comes to retirement. And it's not what you typically think. It's not about the numbers or math or taxes or investments or any of that stuff. But what it has to do with is being intentional about what you want your retirement years to be like and to look like. You really have the opportunity to create any type of retirement that you want. George Bernard Shaw said, "Life isn't about finding yourself, it's about creating yourself." And that's true with retirement planning. So the question you really want to consider is, how are you going to spend your time in retirement? You might be surprised to learn that depression is actually something that is very common, especially in the first few months of retirement. You have maybe had a busy schedule and career and anticipating and looking forward to retirement, and then when it actually comes, you find yourself enjoying it in the very short term, but then you start to feel unsure of what you're going to do. You and your spouse, if you're married, may find yourself home all the time, not sure what to do and where to go. If you take a look at your schedule here, this is what your schedule looks like in retirement, right? It's every day is open. And so how are you going to fill it? What are your activities going to be? Now, you really want to beware of what I call the leisure lie. Anytime someone, envisions retirement, you kind of picture something like this, with a couple sitting on this beach. And certainly I hope that's part of your retirement. But if everything is all leisure, it will lose its pleasure. And so when we're working and doing stuff and then we take a vacation, it's very enjoyable. But when life becomes, every day is a vacation, it can get boring, it can get old. And so it's really important that you think about these things. Being old and growing old, it's an attitude, really. And the attitude that you have and you take each day on in life will have a tremendous difference in not only your happiness, but the happiness of those around you. The way that you view aging, whether from a positive or negative standpoint, it will have an impact on your health and your happiness. Now, sometimes, we don't do things that we used to do when we were younger as we get older, and feeling like, oh, I'm too old, or, and kind of using age as an excuse. I would encourage you to think young and to not kind of check out, because as soon as you kind of check out, your health can decline, your happiness can decline. And so this really is probably the most important piece of a retirement plan, is being really intentional about this stuff. There are actual studies that show that people with positive attitude, they are actually less likely to develop certain types of diseases such as Alzheimer's and strokes and whatnot. And so your actual physical health can be impacted and will be impacted. It's important to be engaged at any age. Here's a lady, 100 years old, still teaching and going strong. People asked her very often, well, what about retirement? Are you ever going to retire? And she would, she was adamant about retirement is a bad word. She didn't really want any part of that. She loved what she did, and that's where she got her joy. And so she kept teaching. Now, everyone's situation is obviously going to be unique and different, but this is a woman that had a lot of happiness and still going strong at age 100. Here's another lady. She was 83 years old. Her husband had passed away. Wasn't sure what to do with herself. She went back to school. She went to law and graduated law school at age 83. Here's Harriette Thompson. She's finishing a half marathon here at age 94. Then Nola, she's just remarkable. She goes to college and graduates at age 95. and then goes on to earn a master's degree at age 98. So you may be accomplishing things that you never imagined before in your retirement years. You don't want to let your mind turn to mush. You might remember Grandma Moses. This lady, she used to do needle stitch. She started to get, arthritis in her hands, and it was difficult for her to do. And so at age 76, she had never touched a paintbrush. She had no training, but she thought it wouldn't hurt her hands as much. And so she picked up and she started painting. She painted every day for like the next 24 years, I think it is, something like that. And many of her paintings became very famous. One even made it onto a U.S. postage stamp. Here you have an 85-year-old completing a full marathon in under 4 hours. Now, I have completed a marathon, but I assure you it was not in under 4 hours. And so to do that at any age is remarkable. Maybe you played this game, Dobble. This guy invented this at age 84. It became a very popular game. Here we have Joanna doing gymnastics at age 86. Now this guy is the oldest man to ever climb Mount Everest. So he was the oldest at age 70 to do it. Then 5 years later, he did it again at age 75. And then he did it again at age 80. Now, making it to the top of Mount Everest and back is an amazing feat at any age, let alone at age 80. So don't think that your best days are behind you, because your best days very much could be in front of you. So what is your reason? Everyone's going to have a different view and different things that are meaningful to you. So I want to encourage you to be engaged at any age and to not just leave it up to chance or kind of default, whatever comes, but as you are intentional and you really create the type of retirement you want, you and your loved ones are going to have much more pleasure and joy out of it. A lot of it comes down to service, and when you can do something for someone, you have a cause, something that you're involved with, that is what makes life exciting and fun. I hope you found this educational. I hope you feel inspired, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.